All right, we are back at the shop to finish pulling this tranny out. So really the only thing left to do is a couple trans bolts and torque converter bolts. I had already started pulling the torque converter bolts. I have 1 or 2 left. You can see there's a little cover here you pull off, and you can see the torque converter bolt right in there, 14 millimeter. So like I said, there's 1 or 2 left. And a couple of trans bolts, and the trans is down. The whole harness is disconnected. And transmission is pretty much ready to come out. But before that, we are going to do something a little special today. Today is Jimmy Oak's birthday. So, I made him a little something special. I've been friends with Jimmy for a long time, well before YouTube days, when he first started building his 300ZX with the LS swap. So, I made him a little something special for his office. So this is a factory electrical manual for a 1990 300ZX, which that's what his is. And I cleaned it up and I put it inside of a frame. The frame is kind of shitty. I kind of wish I could find a better one, but it's kind of hard to find in this size. But it's hangable. Since it's a manual, it's a little thick. I couldn't get the backing panel in there. But regardless, I'm sure he'll like it. It's just cool for the wall, and it's got the whole manual with all the electrical inside in case he ever needs it. So we're gonna go up to Jimmy's shop and we're gonna give him this for his birthday. So let's take a ride up there. So we're up at James's. It's his birthday. I dropped off his little present that I showed you guys before. How you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it so
cool, right?
much. That's cool. Like, that's a really thoughtful gift. Like, really cool. And a cool find, none the least.
I figure, what do you give the guy that has everything? Something that he doesn't have.
A Z32 wiring diagram that's just big and horny. I love it.
And it just looks cool.
It is cool.
It's cool vintage, like Nissan dealership
It's
stuff.
fucked up enough, but still clean.
Exactly, because it was used in a dealership, which is cool.
That saved someone's ass, that's for sure.
Exactly. I got a 240 one too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I only have a single cam one though. I don't have a dual cam.
Yeah, that's fucking
but it's still cool. I put it in my other frame and I have it just, it's mint. It's like mint.
Because that thing was in a filing cabinet for 30 years.
So, yeah, even though it's his birthday, it's everyone's birthday today. Aunt got a sick Doki Dory setup for his car. Jimmy surprised him with. That's sick. So this is Type X, but made for a coupe, which I've never seen before. Super cool. Doki Dory stuff is super high quality. And I just found out that he sells Navin skirts for the S14, and he's working on a Navin front bumper, which I can't fucking wait. Because instead of paying $1,200 for an OEM one, I'm gonna buy a Doki Dory one, and I'll be super happy with it. So I'm gonna wait till those come out, and I'm gonna go Navin on my car. And yeah, Jimmy also hooked me up with some parts. He gave me a carbon chaser, automatic center thing, because my car's auto, and his isn't auto anymore, so he had no use for it. But it looks cool.
It is. It's a little piece. This wasn't
just a little piece.
Condition too.
It is mint.
You're keeping yours auto, Mike?
No. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what a fucking.
It's hard because they're so good. Just automatic.
Just to drive. It's a nice driving car.
You don't even like that. That's the one car I drove, and I'm like, you know what? This could fucking stay auto. I don't care.
Yeah, it almost is like.
So.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But yeah.
What else?
That's it. We're gonna finish taking my transmission out.
Yeah, you're
in a little bit.
That fucking dunzo.
Yeah, it should.
In Mike's defense, it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean, I only really started it yesterday, and I was by myself, and it's ready to come out.
The worst part is you guys are gonna see Mike motherfucking the camera when he has to take out the pilot bearing for the automatic transmission.
I've been there before.
I know, but it doesn't matter. It still sucks every time you do it. I don't care if you've done it 10 times.
All right, back at the shop. Just left Jimmy's. Today's his birthday. It was a good time up there. Gave him his little present. He loved it. And he hooked me up with some parts as usual. Every time I go to Jimmy's, I end up with some stuff. One of them being this carbon fiber Tourer automatic trim. Since mine's not a Tourer, we're just going to throw it in there. I don't know what these two buttons were for. I didn't even realize that mine does not have buttons right there. I'm assuming maybe for like rear windows, but mine are all on the door. So I'm gonna have 2 blank spots there. I'm gonna start off just by popping the factory one up. Here we go, just pops up. So got our first carbon panel, even though it's for an auto and it's got some holes. We do have one piece of carbon now. Now we got to source the rest of it. Back to taking out the transmission of the S14. I don't know where my friends are, and I'm not waiting anymore. So I set up a little contraption to pull the tranny out myself and not have it fall on me. So we lowered the lift down that I could just sit, and I put a cart with a little jack holding the transmission up. I just finished pulling the last couple bolts out of it. And now we should be able to pry the transmission off and have it just fall right on the cart. So let's give it a try. This tranny is gonna fall out. All right, bolt is out. Pretty much it. There she blows. Look at that. Didn't need no one's help. My contraption worked. Now we go up, up and away. And there it is. We are in decent shape now. What is all this? Good news is it does not look like it's coming from the rear main. I think it's just oil and water that were sitting on the bottom of the transmission pan mixing together. But we are going to get that off and really check everything out and check the condition of the seals and whatnot. I'm pretty sure I bought new seals, but I do want to check everything. Here is the stock transmission, came right out with my little table contraption. I was able to do it myself without being crushed, and couldn't have really asked for it to come out any easier than that. We got the engine all cleaned up. Rear main seal looks good. I can't remember if I bought a replacement or not. I'm gonna have to check my box. Everything else looks pretty good. I mean, yeah. There was a little bit of mixed water and oil right down here. You can actually see it in that one, but it doesn't look like it's coming from anywhere. I think it just mixed some water, dripped into here, and just mixed with some oil that was sitting on the bottom of the transmission for some reason. Maybe from the look, this has been, the tran's been out of this before. You could tell it was it says Jatco on the transmission, so it's a replacement trans. So this has been apart before. I'm assuming they replaced it. You can see the rear main has a little bit of gunk on it, and someone obviously re-glued this with some Honda Bond. Can't tell if it's seeping out of this little corner right here. Smart thing would be to replace it. Now this, the automatic pilot bearing, is a real motherfucker to get out. Usually, I did a 5-speed on a R32 Skyline. I had to weld something to this and pull it out. I've got a couple different blind bearing pullers. So we're gonna try a couple of those, see if we can pull it out. If not, I got my nice new welder, and we'll weld something on the motherfucker and pull that motherfucker out. And this is why I like stocking up on tools, because we have a choice to try and pull this out. We got a couple different blind bearing pullers, and then we got the heavy duty one with all kinds of different attachments. So one of these should do the trick. We have a winner. We got it all tightened up in there. We are going to screw this piece on the end and give her hell, see if it comes out. Seems like it's stuck on the lip on the inside, which is good. Let's give her a try. And that's all there is to it. Took literally 2 seconds. No screaming or crying or a hard time like it usually is. It just pays to have the correct tools. You can see it sat right on the inside, and literally a couple taps, popped right out. Awesome. Couldn't ask for it to be any easier. So it is good to have the right tools. Anybody that is going to be pulling an automatic apart, I'm pretty sure I got this from Harbor Freight. And the kit, it is going to be the third one in from the large side. And there is no part number. I lied. So, yeah, I guess you're on your own.